If you are in your 30s or 40s and you've never sat with a financial planner or an advisor, this video is specifically for you. And just like how I am literally fasting right now to prepare for my annual physical, for my physical health, you need to do something similar for your financial health. Well, it's a little bit different, but you basically can't act crazy all year round and then expect that meeting to just go perfectly well with your financial advisor. Just like how I can't live any lifestyle and then just assume that my physical is going to pass with flying colors. So I need to have certain things in place. And in this video, I'm going to break down everything you need to know and every question that I would ask in a portfolio review, similar to what a financial advisor or certified financial planner, so that you can be ready and have everything in order. Hey, what's going on? This is Mawuli Vodi with Financially Present. I've spent the bulk of my career as a stockbroker, an investment consultant, even a branch manager, a project manager, and then most recently a capital planning, investment control subject matter expert. So I have experience with finances all the way from the personal level to the federal level. And if you're new here, welcome. I'd love you to subscribe. And if you're not new here, thank you for supporting the channel and for taking an investment in being financially present in your life. In this video, I have so much to share with you, and it's gonna get you ready so that the next time you are ready for a financial planner meeting or a meeting with your advisor and they give you a questionnaire, you'll know exactly what to expect. And you know what? There's something that's pretty funny about the way this world works, because when you have an annual physical with your doctor, you really only have about 15-20 minutes with them where you can ask questions, you can advocate for yourself and try to understand things better. And that's out of the whole year. Whereas when you meet with a financial planner or an advisor, it takes so much longer. There's a lot of layers to peel back. And that's why this video is going to be so full of different things. And I want you to make sure that you're taking some notes. You can pause, rewind, and take notes, because trust me, there's a lot you need to have in order, because when it comes to meetings with your financial professional, it takes a lot more time. If your approach to a financial planning meeting is the thought that it's going to be somewhat of a silver bullet or a magic pill to just help you lose weight, or something that's just going to be a sprint and not a marathon, then you have the wrong idea. It does take time, so I don't want you to think that this is all going to be fixed overnight, but everything that I'm about to go over is going to help you get in the right mind frame. So let's get into it. First question I ask on my portfolio reviews are, what are you looking to accomplish in this portfolio review? It might sound basic, but you need to understand that a vision helps drive everything. Someone with a vision moves differently than someone without a vision. And if you aren't even sure what to expect or what you are looking for out of this meeting, then it's going to be very difficult. You know, someone who is, let's say, preparing a YouTube video that needs a director is different than someone who is starting a YouTube channel from scratch. So obviously the approach needs to be different. The resources you're going to need is different. So this is why I ask a question like this, because there are so many layers underneath that we can unpack when we understand what you're looking to accomplish. Are you just starting out, or are you planning on retiring in the next 10 years? It shifts the whole conversation, and we need to know exactly how to move when it comes to your finances. Okay, so the next question gets into the nitty-gritty of things. And that question is, what is the approximate value of your total assets, including CDs, bank accounts, mutual funds, and other securities like retirement accounts, etc.? You see, this question does two things. It helps me understand where your starting point is, because today is the starting point. Are we starting from zero? Do we feel like we have to climb up from there? Or do you have some assets we can work with, and now we can do more of some optimization and adjusting? Because the adjustment is a big difference if you don't have much to work with. And odds are that could be the reason why you've had difficulty meeting with an advisor or financial planner, because they do need you to have some assets. And in fact, the way this system or industry is built, you need a certain amount of assets, a minimum at times of 50,000 or more, to even get a serious meeting scheduled. This question also allows you to take a moment and reflect on what you have and what you've done to get what you have. Because these assets, depending on how they're investing, they could be moving you slowly or faster to your goal. And that's one of the reasons why I have to ask this question very early and upfront in this questionnaire. Now, before I get into this next question, I need you to think of someone you know that needs to be part of this conversation and share this video with them, because it could make or break their lifestyle in the future. Okay, so the next question is very important. How would you classify your household's overall financial situation? And the answers are going to range from no savings at all and significant debt, all the way to few debt and financially secure. Now, the way you answer this question gives me a better picture of how things are being managed on your side of the house. In fact, speaking of houses, think about your finances as an actual house. And if you're calling me as a repairman or handyman to come help you out with your house, there's a different way that I would support you if you have a broken window versus if your kitchen was on fire. Obviously, they both are going to have different priorities, and I'm going to approach them differently. I know what's going to need more help urgently, so I'm going to move a little bit differently. So in essence, I need to know, hey, how are you managing this? What proactive measures are you taking? Do you have a lot of debt and you're taking a lot of risk? Do you have little to no debt and you feel somewhat secure, but you're just not sure what your next move is? A lot of this has to do with some of what you can control. Having a little bit of savings and a fair amount of debt, it could indicate that maybe you've had some situation that's preventing you from increasing your savings, and maybe you just recently finished paying off student loans, and you are tackling different styles of debt. Or maybe you've lived a lifestyle where you've gone from hand to mouth. You've regularly spent what you have and you haven't had a chance to accumulate a nest egg. These are things that I need to know up front if I'm going to be the one to help you move out of this situation. Now, the next question is a little bit more practical and easier to answer, and that's, do you own a home or are you planning on purchasing one? Now, this is big because we know the majority of your wealth can be tied to your home, and whether or not you own can be a big difference. If you already own a home, the approach has to be different, right? And if you are planning on buying a home, the approach is also going to be different. If you have no desire to own a home, that's okay, right? But just know that you need to work a different way to build your assets. And I don't even believe everyone needs to own a home, because there's a lot that comes with it, especially if it's just a home that you're going to live in. But at the same time, as someone who is a homeowner, someone who's bought and sold his first home to buy another one, I can tell you it is a big driver in wealth. And I've even made some mistakes with it, and I've explained that. And if you're interested in understanding some of that, I have a video that you'll be able to watch. I'll link it below. But that's something that can frame your whole financial situation, and you need to understand that well enough. Think about it from this perspective. Someone who already owns a home, they have the ability to draw equity from the home. They might be focused on doing different upgrades or making some changes. They might even have the ability to generate income from renting out their home or using it for different purposes. Whereas someone who is saving to buy a new home or buy property or things of that nature, now their saving is more aggressive. Their timeline is much shorter. The way they move has to be different. So this is something that, that I would need to know if I'm going to help you on this walk. So any type of questionnaire or portfolio review, I think, needs to have this type of question. Now, the next question is probably the most hated question that you'll ever see on a questionnaire. And that's, do you have an approximate budget? And odds are you may not. A lot of people don't. And the reason why budgets can be somewhat contentious, I'll say, is because it puts the spotlight on you. It brings a lot of attention on you, your money behaviors, your habits, what you're good at, what you're not good at regarding your money. And it doesn't have to be anything extravagant. It could be something as simple as maybe a paper budget spreadsheet that you do on your own, or an Excel spreadsheet that you regularly do. And if you don't, then that's actually some homework that you have when it comes to a portfolio review with me. At least have some type of notional budget template. And if you haven't used anyone before, I have something you'll be able to use and a whole video that breaks it down. But it helps frame this conversation because we can now see what we can adjust in your budget to help you get to your goals. And it's so important that you have something listed out, because at the end of the day, that is how you can make those adjustments. By seeing your budget, it helps me understand some of your negotiables and your non-negotiables. It helps us target specific areas and know what areas are open for improvement. And then it lists things like your debt and just your liquidity, how quick the cash flow, how quick we can make some changes. And that will help us move this whole situation along. So if you don't have one or haven't started one, you need to have at least something that you're bringing to the table to facilitate this conversation. Okay, so like I said, when it comes to a portfolio review or an annual physical or financial physical, there is so much that comes with this, and it's comprehensive, and I can't cover all of that in this video. So between now and the next video, I want you to do some of the homework that I gave you and come back on the next video, and you'll get more questions that I give in this portfolio review to frame your whole situation. And trust me, you don't want to miss this. Talk to you soon.